Hello, magic casters of all shapes and sizes. My name is Chance. Welcome to my Spellbook, and thank you so much for tuning into the 4th episode of our second level spell series. Today we're going to be taking a look at one of the thematically very cool, but mechanically, I don't know. I got beef with it on a mechanical end, but I really like it thematically. I don't know. I'll leave it up to you guys to decide. But today we're going to be taking a look at Animal Messenger. This spell is usable by the Bard, Druid, and the Ranger, and it is found in the good old Player's Handbook, so we should all have access to it. Honestly, I'll get to the mechanics, and then we'll talk about it a little bit later. Moving on to the mechanics, the cast time is the standard 1 action, but it can also be ritual casted for an additional 10 minutes, which is great. Ritual spells in 5e, super awesome. Make sure your class has the ritual tag, by the way, but assuming it does, it's good. The range on this is 30 feet. The duration is 24 hours, which is pretty awesome. The effect at a glance is as followed. Choose a tiny beast and get it to deliver a message to a specified target and a described individual. The message can be 25 words and is relayed in your voice. The speed of the delivery varies based on the type of beast. At higher levels, the duration of the spell increases by 48 hours for each slot level above 2nd. The components are somatic, material, and verbal, so Holy Trinity spell. Somatic means you have to gesture with one hand. The material component in this case is a morsel of food. And the spell doesn't say it gets consumed, but it kind of makes sense that it would. You give a pet a treat, he does a thing for you. But whatever. And the verbal component means you speak forth an incantation. The school is Enchantment, which makes a lot of sense. You're making something talk that otherwise can't talk, and enchantment's a good way to do that. In any case, let's move on to the full description. By means of this spell, you choose an animal to deliver a message. Choose a tiny beast you can see within range, such as a squirrel, a blue jay, or a bat. You specify a location which you must have visited and a recipient who matches a general description, such as a man or woman dressed in the uniform of a town guard or a red-haired dwarf wearing a pointed hat. You also speak a message of up to 25 words. The target beast travels for the duration of the spell towards the specified location, covering about 50 miles per 24 hours for a flying messenger, or 25 miles for other animals. When the message arrives, it delivers your message to the creature that you described, replicating the sound of your voice. The messenger speaks only to a creature matching the description you gave. If the messenger doesn't reach its destination before the spell ends, the message is lost, and the beast makes its way back to where you cast this spell. At higher levels, if you cast this spell using a spell slot of 3rd level or higher, the duration of the spell increases by 48 hours for each slot level above 2nd. Whew, my goodness, is that a long one. Really cool in theory. To summarize super generally, you get an animal to deliver a message for you. Pretty cool. What I don't like about it is the distance they cover are quite small. I think it ends up working out to be something like less than 2 miles an hour or something like that. And there's a ton of animals that can move faster than that on their own, and a lot of them you get as familiars. So I don't know, if you find familiar through like Magic Initiate or Ritual Caster or any of those feats, there's no real benefit to using this, not in my opinion. The spell also doesn't say that it makes it so the creature doesn't need to eat or sleep or any of that stuff, so it's really, really hard for me to justify, and if it's a pivotal plot point, a DM could kind of just mess you up by saying, yeah, the bird was waylaid by a snowstorm and couldn't make it to the town in time. Like, there's just a lot of ways this could kind of backfire, and I don't really like that as much as I should. Like, I get it's still a low-level spell, and I get making those alterations might cause it to move up a level, but it's it seems really haphazard to me. That being said, though, it's not without its fair share of interesting uses. Let's get to that now. Moving on to the alternative use section here, there's a couple things that would be worth touching on. First and foremost, if you are role-playing a character who is a grand strategist, this could be a fantastic way of implementing certain plans. Use creatures that are very inconspicuous and found at just about anywhere. Cats, pigeons, birds, rodents would be really common as well, and get them to deliver the messages at key places, at key times to key individuals, and kind of just plan your plan that way. Alternatively, the fact that this is a ritual spell that does not require concentration for the duration, you can use this multiple times on multiple different animals. And through that, you can achieve some sort of a nexus hub of communication. It is one-way communication, but if you're the central leader or figure, that's all you need. This would especially work well if you were a scout waiting on or relaying instructions back to the leader so that the party might catch up to where you are. I think it could be used to great effect there. It could also be used to broker deals. In order to do this correctly, however, it would kind of have to imply that there's a mutual location on which they accept information and relay it back. Like, it does hinge on a couple things, but I could definitely see it playing out, for example, between two groups of druids, for example. I think that could be a very good, very cool idea. In all honesty, it's just a communication spell, so really anything to do with communication, this should be able to do to one degree or another. That being said, if you have any alternative uses, interesting ideas, or cool stories about Animal Messenger, I'd really like to hear them down beneath in the comments. I just like reading them. They give me a lot of ideas. They give the community a lot of ideas. It's just a great space to be a part of. And I'd also like to take a moment to thank our lovely patrons Marcos G. Guzman Jr., Reina, Tanner Frazier, Kendi Garcia, Bruce T, Tato Seal, Spider-Man, and his amazing friends. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate your support, and it's just great speaking with you and getting to know all of you. If you'd like to speak with us as well and just become part of the community a little bit closer knit at the very least, please check out the daily live streams. We do it for the most part every day from 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. If I'm ever not able to do one, I'll put it in the community section of my YouTube channel, so just check there. And if you like that cool hand-drawn Warforge on the screen, and you like your own hand-drawn D&D character, please check out our Patreon videos to figure out exactly how to do that. Thank you so much, have a great day, and as always, happy casting.